Welcome to a Gatefold Tag Card tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create this fun gatefold card, as well as these interactive tags that go along with it. I'm Shari Filamahala here at the Graphic 45 office, and I'm excited for you to jump into Club G45 2020 with our Volume 1. This is one of the projects we're going to be creating this month, along with this really gorgeous Les Romantique keepsake album. So you're going to want to go ahead and join Club G45 so you can create along with us every month and get a box full of goodies delivered right to your doorstep. Both of these projects have been brought to us by the lovely Annette Green, and you're going to want to go ahead and follow along with this tutorial. It's easy. You just need a few sheets of paper, 2 tags, and we'll be creating some fun interactive elements. Great for putting some gift cards on there, maybe a hidden love note, or you could also use this as a display piece and add some photos in here and display it on your mantle or your shelf. So for step 1 of our gatefold card, we are going to take our Tender Missives paper, and we are going to cut this to be 8 3/4 by 10 inches. And then we're going to put our paper in our score board horizontally, so we're at 10 inches, and then score right in half at 5 inches. And then just rotate this, and we're going to score on either side now at a 1/2 inch. So I've got my 5-inch score line down the middle. I've got a 1/2 inch on one side, and on the other side now I've flipped it over. Now I have 3 score lines, and just find those score lines and go ahead and fold those using your bone folder to keep them nice and crisp. Now that we've done that, we are going to trim out these 1/2 inch pieces on the bottom half of our Tender Missives. So this top half we will leave as is, but this bottom half we are going to go ahead and cut those flaps out. So then we're going to trim off the bottom 1/2 inch pieces, and we're going to go a little bit on the inside of our main part of this. That's going to make it all fold together a little bit more. So where you've scored, just want to cut on the inside of our main body of this, and then when we cut off this little 1/2 inch piece, we're going to cut just slightly up on an angle. That way everything's going to fold together and flap much smoother. So now we are going to be adhering 3 different channels. So we want to adhere, I'll be adhering onto my pocket part that I'm going to flip up. So I'm going to put a line of liquid adhesive down each side, just a nice thin line, and then I'm going to find my center, and then I'm going to be creating a nice little channel there as well. So once you've added your adhesive, we can go ahead and fold this up and over, and then burnish that down. And now we should have our little channels all ready to go. So next we are going to take 2 of our Graphic 45 regular ivory tags. We want to make sure our grommet side is the top, our right side up, which is that nice beveled round side. And these are what's going to glue onto these little tabs that we have. So before we glue anything down, we are just going to be making sure our placement is nice and centered. So we want to make sure that our tags are touching. And that it's flush with the bottom. So once we have our placement ready to go, we can go ahead and adhere our tags onto our little 1/2 inch hinges that we've created. So our beveled grommet is right side up. Our tag is flush with the bottom. And now we're going to do our other one. So we've got our first tag on. So I'll show you put our adhesive onto our 1/2 inch little hinge flap. And then now this is just going to be flush with the bottom of our card. And it should be nice and parallel with our other tag, like so. So now we have our tags adhered onto our little flaps, and you can see they come together nicely in the center, and they're nice and flush with the bottom of our card. And then we can flip those open, and for step 4 we can add 2 pieces of our Romantique. This has been trimmed to be 3 7/8 by 5 inches, and we have just rounded our 2 outer corners. So you are going to just match up the round corners of the tag and adhere on the inside of our gatefold card. Step 5, we're going to cut 2 pieces of Daydream to be 3 5/8 by 4 3/4, and then we're going to round all 4 corners on both of those and adhere down to our front flap tags, tag flaps. And then we're going to cut 2 pieces of tender missives to be 3 inches by 4 1/4, and these are just going to go right onto the black pieces we just put down. Step 6, from the chipboard piece, we're going to grab this Romantique label and then these 2 cute little square butterflies. And then we are going to take a piece of our tender missives, and we're going to be doing some tracing. So you can see we've already traced along the outside of our chipboard, and then once we do that, then we can just do a little bit of fussy cutting. We are going to be cutting inside the traced line. So once you've cut it out, it should look like this, and we are just going to do a bit of backing up our chipboard like so. Before we adhere that down, just find the best placement for your paper and your chipboard, and then we're going to go ahead and mark the circles where we are going to be punching out some holes, so then we can add a bit of ribbon or wax twine. Just adding a little more decorative flair. And so I'm using a crocodile, but you can use any hole punch that will work for this. And then once you've got your holes all marked up, now at this point we can go ahead and adhere this down. And now I'm just using some ivory wax twine, but you could use some ivory ribbon as well. And I've taken about 10 inches. You can most likely do a little less, especially if you don't want to do bows. If you just want to do like a little knotted edge, that would be great too. And then we'll just fold it in half and then put our loop through the hole and then tuck our tails through there and then pull those out. And then we can make a nice, beautiful bow on either end. What's really great about working with the twine is that the waxed twine is that it doesn't fray at all, and then it also holds your bow shape just how you want it, which is a really great feature. So we've done one, and then we'll just do the other side the same way. And now from the same tender missives paper, we've cut 2 little 1/2-inch squares, and these are going to be backed just on the back of our little chipboard pieces. For step 7, we're going to move those over, and then we're cutting from My Beloved 2 pieces that are going to be 3 inches by 6 inches, and then just trimming off just the little edges, those little corners. That way we've created a little tag shape. And I would suggest doing one and then putting the other piece behind there and trimming off. And now we're going to take our little square pieces that we just created, and these are going to go adhere onto our tags, making sure our butterflies are right side up, and just adhere those in the center about halfway on the tag, halfway off. From Sweetheart of Mine, we've cut out the dancing couple to be 3 inches by 3 inches and the engaged couple to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. And these we are just going to adhere inside our flaps. So just move those tags out of the way. So these are going to go on either side of our tags, just right in the center. And this would also be a great place if you did want to use the space for photos. Maybe you are going to a wedding and you want to use photos of the couple. That would be a great place to add some photos, or you could also adhere these into an L shape and use this as a little tuck spot for goodies or presents. And then the last step for the inside is to take these cute little circles from our chipboard. One is a butterfly and the other is a little rose. I'm going to put the rose, I've added some strong liquid adhesive to the backs of those, and I'm going to put the rose on top of the back side of that grommet and the butterfly on this one. In step 8, we're going to take our tags that we created and we are going to put those on the inside tag channels that we made in the beginning of our tutorial. So you can see these are going to fit perfectly, and then they have a nice little peekaboo out the top. And then now we can start decorating our cover. From Sweetheart of Mine, we've cut out this pretty bride cut apart that's 2 1/2 by 3 3/4 inches, as well as this love couple that's also this is 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. So I've added some foam adhesive onto the back side of these, and these are just going to adhere onto our front panels. So just right in the center of that pink mat we've already laid down. And then we're going to put the bride onto the left-hand side. And then with our chipboard that we have already created, what's already been backed up, we are just going to put adhesive onto the back of the left-hand side. So this is going to keep it all shut, but it'll also open up without any problem. So when you flip it over, it is the right-hand side, but when I flip it back over, it's going to be the back of the left-hand side. And then just finding a good center point like so. Now I can push that down, and then taking 2 more little chipboard pieces and some liquid adhesive, we are going to just add these onto our grommets. You could also add some ribbon there, which would be a super cute addition. So it's really up to you how you want to do this. This would be a really fun project done in any of our Graphic 45 paper collections, so we hope that you try it out. And when you do, we hope that you share your project with us using that Graphic 45 hashtag. But you can see it's a simple card to make. You can add your own embellishments as you'd like and photos to make this its own fun and cute little card interactive mini. So we thank you so much for joining us for our Club G45 Volume 1 tutorial. Be sure to hop on over to do our keepsake mini album as well. This is loaded with fun pockets and flips and pages. So you're gonna wanna be sure to do both projects this month, as well as check out our G45 card club. It's brand new and it's also using Les Romantique and some fun techniques. So thanks again for stopping by. Be sure to subscribe if you're looking for more tutorials and hit that notification bell. Happy paper crafting.